Hey, Ashley Bottoms here from Bottoms Up Appetite for Discussion. We are here at the 2013 Boston Comic Con. This is my first Comic Con, so I'm very excited about being here. I'm grateful that they let me cover it. It is wall-to-wall cosplay and celebrities, comics, you name it. If you're a fan of it, it's here. And I'm very excited about it. So I want you to sit back, enjoy the roller coaster ride that is the Boston Comic Con, because it's going to be insane inside. Join us and let's go check out the Boston Comic Con 2013.
In a suit and tie, tells us what we ought to buy. Bag of coke and a nuclear heart, support your conscience, that's a start. You're in the game, some have to lose, but parties that you can choose your own into social class.
We're here with Yaya Han, costume designer and model. Love your costume. I'm looking at some of your work. Now tell me about your work. You make these? You do all this?
I do. I've been making costumes for 14 years now. I have about 250 inch counting.
Okay.
Comic books, anime, manga, video games, my own original designs. Really just fell into this as a hobby, as just like a newbie fan kid.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you got into this because it's unique.
I mean, really, when I did cosplay at the beginning, like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I just wanted to be these characters. I wanted to learn how to make these outfits. So it was a lot of experimenting. It was a lot of
trial and error.
Definitely,
yeah.
Everything was trial and error.
All right, we're here with Jeff Schultz, Comics Illustrations, responsible for such things as Hugo and the Bug, Peanuts, and Archie Comics. Jeff, thank you very much for doing this. Sure. I am a huge fan of Peanuts. And I just found out, for those who don't know, he's not related to Schultz. How did you get into this?
Well, Archie, I've been with Archie since '95.
Okay.
And I've been doing Betty and Veronica since 2000.
Okay.
And the Charlie Brown, the Peanuts, that just happened a few months ago. So
just kind of fell into it?
Well, Mike Tellurito, the president at Archie, I was in the office one day, and I said, Mike, he wasn't giving me much work because there wasn't much to do. So, so I said, do you know anybody at Boom Studios? They're out in California.
Okay.
And he said, yeah, I know somebody there. I said, I'd like to draw, draw Charlie Brown. So he emailed him right away and said, we got, Jeff here, and I got the job.
The rest is history. All right, we are here with Mike Eisenberg and Oliver Mertz. You guys, first law of mad science. What is the first law of mad science?
You don't talk about mad science.
Yeah. So it's got a little bit of a fight club in there. I love it.
A little bit.
Is that how you came up with the name?
No. I think, I don't know, we were kicking around a lot of different names, and I don't remember. We
wandering around a Barnes & Noble.
We were in a Barnes & Noble, yeah.
I like it.
Waiting for his sister's car to get fixed.
Yeah,
somehow he got tasked with that.
No, because I think I broke it.
Yeah, maybe that's it, yeah.
And you're just galling around a Barnes & Noble and it just hit you.
Pitch an idea is, well, once we came up with it, once you know it when it's ready.
That light bulb goes on, you're like, yeah. Now, do you have a personal favorite of all you've done?
Cannot tell the personal favorite, sadly, because
My personal favorite is Jessica Rabbit. I think you did that one right down to a science. I love that one.
Jessica was definitely a dream come true costume. It took me 2 years to have the courage to actually do the costume because she's so iconic. Yeah. And I actually created a custom corset, drafted and patterned my own corset to create the hourglass shape. And then I padded out my boobs with 2 bras, not just one, 2. Just for more, the contrast.
For the oomph.
She has such a cartoony figure, and that is really
well, she's a cartoon.
Exactly.
You have to actually become a cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the best part is you're not just drawing, like unknown stuff. You're drawing stuff that's been around, like when my grandfather was around. I mean, this is stuff that's been around for generations.
Yeah.
So like easily recognized and known.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan, of Charlie Brown.
Everybody is.
Used to, read the little books.
Yeah. That's the thing is, you mentioned Peanuts, and nobody is like, what? Everybody knows what Peanuts is. Snoopy, Charlie Brown. I mean, they're still on television to this day.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really cool gig to fall into.
Yeah, it is great. Like, it's such a draw. Everybody sees the sign.
Yeah.
And they just go, hey.
They say, hey, I see Snoopy.
And Jeff Schultz.
Yeah. And you're trying to explain that you're not related. like you did to me.
Yeah.
You know, bastard. And how long has First Law of Mad Science been around?
So we've been doing it for a couple of years. We actually debuted at the New York Comic Con in 2010.
Okay.
And
So a few years anyway.
a few years, yeah. And we're still going. It's nice.
And if you could briefly, what is the First Law of Mad Science? What actually is the comic about?
I'm going to let Mike...
Mike, take it away.
It's a story of a super scientist inventor who creates cyber eyes, which are cybernetic retinal implants, allow people to zoom in and see great distances, to record what they're looking at, see beyond the normal visual spectrum. Ends up becoming a wildly popular, world-changing invention because it's so cheap and easy to get that 2/5 of the whole world actually get these cyber eyes the first year they're on the market. The problem is that after that first year, they realize the very first test subjects who got the cyber eyes are all starting to, including the scientist's own son, are all starting to see things. They're seeing weird little creatures everywhere that no one else can see. So they have to figure out, is it a problem with the technology? Are the creatures a real thing? Are they just hallucinating? Whatever the problem is, they have to figure it out before it spreads to everyone with the implants, causing worldwide panic and hysteria. So they end up being pulled into a sort of high-stakes, globe-trotting mystery adventure that uncover ancient civilizations, corporate conspiracies, sinister cults, and killer robots.
And do you have a follow-up coming out called The First Law of Recall? Because if they're all defective, it sounds like.
Yeah, they probably should be recalled.
Is there a character that you haven't done yet that you're thinking about doing, or?
Oh my god, my list is growing all the time. I have many different...
Are there ones that you are having really a hard time getting into photo?
No, I mean, I feel like if I take on a project, I'm definitely all in.
Okay.
I'm a perfectionist. I definitely am very into the details and embodying the character as much as I can. So I think my photos definitely show some of
Yeah,
that.
you have a wide variety of photos. Is there but I'm saying, is there a character where someone says, hey, how about trying this one? And you're like, oh, hell no.
Always. I mean, there are definitely different characters people suggest, but I feel like because I make everything myself, I want to be the one to choose my project. So
makes sense.
People can, suggest things, but I'm not going to always take them. I have to feel a connection to the characters.
Absolutely. If people want to get to know more, do you have a website or when you want to plug for our fans?
I don't have a website. I'm on Facebook. It's Jeff Schultz and
so Facebook / Jeff Schultz.
Yeah, just Jeff Schultz. I'm there.
He draws peanuts.
Just friend me. I'm there.
Where can we go to find this?
FirstLawMadScience.com.
FirstLawMadScience.com. You guys really put a lot of thought into that. I love that.
Make it easy. Make it easy.
Oh, great. And you guys are here at the Comic-Con signing copies and just meeting the people.
It's great. I kind of I live for coming to a con. Like every time we do.
I love cons.
Yeah, it re-energizes us because when you're actually making the comic, you're sort of in
you're
by
like
yourself.
A bubble. So it's really just us two. And is this going to be good? Is it not? But at a convention, you actually get to talk.
Yeah, actually,
you can actually look at it, touch it, and say, I want to check this out.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Comic Cons too.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody is watching and they want to know more about what you do, is there a website we can go to find out more?
Absolutely. You can find me online, and actually you can find me on TV in less than 2 weeks. I have a new show coming out on Sci-Fi. It's called Heroes of Cosplay, and it will follow the lives of various cosplayers, and I'm one of them. So,
that's so cool.
You can tune in, and you can find out all about my crazy convention travels, and you'll see behind the scenes footage of us actually making the costumes, and I'm hoping that it will inspire people to get into cosplay when they see that it's not all just magic. Like, we don't just wake up and do this.
There's a commitment to it.
There's a lot of
huge
work,
commitment.
It's a lot of passion, and it's a lot of getting down and dirty, and so definitely I think Heroes of Cosplay will show that.
And what's your website?
It is yayahan.com.
yayahan.com.
Tell us what we ought to be. Garden dry, what to drink. Ignorant bliss, no need to think. As Bob takes fetus on her face. Kids sucks blood at his workplace. They take from you, take from me. Society's anomalies with social norms and social rules. With social skill, with social rules.
Okay, great treat for you guys out there. We're here with Dino Gorman from The Hobbit. What was the character's name again?
Philly.
How did you get into this role?
I auditioned, I guess, just like a lot of other people, and yeah, I sort of did the audition. I forgot about it. Didn't think I had a chance. And about a year later, they rang up and they said that they were interested in me.
So you auditioned literally like about a year before you were cast.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Wow. Going into this role, did you expect to be like a huge fan base? Because I mean, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit have a huge cult following, as you can see from today.
Yeah.
And do you find it overwhelming at all?
No, not at all. We live in New Zealand. I mean, I live in New Zealand, not we. I live in New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't live there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I live in New Zealand, and
Is that an invitation?
Yeah. Come along. There's just less people, and I think everyone in New Zealand kind of prides themselves on trying to be very kind of nonchalant about any kind of sort of fan thing. But yeah, I mean, there are fans of the show and the movies down there, but it's not really something that you encounter that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I take it you're going to be in the next 2 installments, because I think it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
So you guys are already gearing up for it, or are you guys already
No,
filming?
we're done. We just finished filming everything last Friday.
That's for the second film?
Second and third.
Oh, so you've done it all already?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
so it's all back to back?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. So now it's just editing and just getting them out this year and next year.
Pretty much like me and Aiden, our work is, when the film is done, and now it's up to the editors and Peter and sit down and, work through all the footage and make something.
Is there something about the character or about the Hobbit series that drew you into being a part of this trilogy?
Oh, look, I mean, I was just happy to be on it,
Thanks for hiring me.
Yeah, it wasn't like Peter Jackson rang up and said, look, Dean, how can I convince you to do it? I was pretty convinced that I wanted to do it. But like I said, I really didn't think that I had a shit show in hell of getting it, because literally everyone I knew had auditioned for some role on it, and by, whatever.
Right, and it's a year later, and you're like, well, I guess that ship has sailed. And
yeah, I got the call on Easter weekend, and they were saying, hey, Dean, there's a role for you as a Hobbit that they're looking at you to do. And I sort of thought, what, like as an extra, or as like an orc or something in the background? But
I'd settle to be an elf. I'd settle for an elf.
Yeah, I'd be an elf.
I could do an elf.
Yeah, you got the height.
Yeah, and now that, as you said, The Hobbit is done filming, what are you looking forward to doing now? Any projects on the run?
There's a couple of things. I got there's a New Zealand film that looks like it may be happening soon-ish.
Okay.
New Zealand film. We got a funding body in New Zealand, the Film Commission, so it's depending on certain things. But I'm going to the States in September. Do some meetings and
get some more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And is there a website or a fan page or something you want to plug that fans can go to if they want to know more about you and your work?
Well, I do. I've got a website. It's not for my acting, it's for photography. I take photos. It's just dinogorman.com.
dinogorman.com?
Yeah.
Very easy.
Pretty easy to remember, yeah. And that's my photographic work, not so much acting.
Oh, great. We're here with Aiden Turner. I'm psyched about this.
Bottoms up.
Yeah. What character do you play on The Hobbit?
I play Keely.
Keely.
Who's one of the youngest dwarves. I used to call him the youngest dwarf because it's just easier, but it turns out I'm not.
Okay.
There's like Ori, I think, is younger. And I think there's probably Dory. There's a couple of them anyway.
Okay.
Enough of my lies.
How did you happen to fall into this role?
Just kind of like every actor, you just audition for something and it sort of it happens or it doesn't happen. There's no kind of I didn't go into the forest with a camera and make my audition tape, or I wasn't a fan for 15 years or nothing. It's quite a boring
You weren't
story.
showing up these things dressed like an elf or
No,
anything,
I
right?
wasn't.
Hoping for the best?
No, and that might have worked too. Who knows?
You never know.
I got lucky. Peter Jackson was a fan of a show I did called Being Human, where I played a vampire.
Oh yeah, the BBC version.
The BBC thing.
Yes.
He was into it, and
did you play Aiden?
I played a character called Mitchell, but the American version they had a character called Aiden on it. Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah.
It is my name. But,
and it's a very popular show here now. So,
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Very well on Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, awesome.
And so he was a fan of the show.
I think so. So he said. I don't know if I believe him or not, but he said he was a fan, and he gave me the part. And that was 2.5 years later. We're here signing fucking pictures of ourselves. It's insane.
Well, I can understand him being a fan because the show actually is a very good story.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, cheers indeed. And
bottoms up.
Bottoms up. I love this guy. And is there something about the mythology or about the films that you like?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're magical, and it's an epic quest. I mean, it's that true sort of tale about a guy who doesn't really believe in himself and thinks he's weak and insecure and comfortable, and goes out into the big bad world to take on to take on everything it has to throw at him, and he defeats them and becomes a stronger person for it. I mean,
he's the underdog.
He's the underdog, and who doesn't love the underdog? You know, everyone's got stuff going on that they have to want to deal with, and it's about conquering it and hitting it on straightforward. So yeah, no, I love stories like that.
They're great stories, and that's what makes great movies.
Yeah.
Because I honestly did not expect to see a Hobbit trilogy. Because I thought, well, it's been 10 years, you know.
That's Peter Jackson. Come on, he does things in threes. We all know that.
This is true.
Yeah.
And now that I'm hearing that the series is already filmed,
sure.
What is in your future that you can talk about?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a movie called The Mortal Instruments. We shot part 1, which is called The City of Bones, last year, and I'm going to shoot part 2 in September, next month. Yeah.
Doesn't get better than this.
So yeah, that's for me. That'll take me up to Christmas, I think. Yeah.
So you keep busy. That's awesome.
Keep busy for right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. And is there a website that you have or would like to tell our fans about?
I don't. No, I don't have a website.
You're not online at all?
No, I don't have one.
You're like the only one I know that's not online.
I know.
Not even a Facebook
kind of like
page.
It that way. Don't do Facebook. Don't do Twitter.
You're so
don't
smart.
do anything. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
Is there a way they
smart.
can find anything of yours?
Absolutely no way.
Wow.
There's nothing. This is
and yet you're in the
bottoms
Hobbit.
up. That's it.
Yeah, the bottoms up.
Aidan
Turner, care of, just send out a request, bottoms up, Boston, Mass, care of Aidan Turner. We'll take care of it.
Sure thing.
Absolutely. We're working together now. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Don't know about that. Don't know yet.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, no worries, man.
The Boston Comic-Con 2013. I had a total blast. I have met so many people here and some celebrities too. Aidan Turner signed an autograph for me, so I'm kind of super psyched. I'm a little starstruck right now. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're into cosplay, any of that stuff, you gotta check this place out. It's a lot of fun and you will have a great time. So definitely check it out. I'm putting their website up here in case you want information on the Boston Comic-Con. And you know, I want to thank my affiliates as always, Unregular Radio, CNEU Rock Radio, freemassmedia.com, and Outlaw Radio Network. I'm Ashley Bottoms from Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion, reminding you once again, people, keep your enemies close, keep Ashley closer. Until next time, bye.
Ashley. A-S-H-L-E what?
Yes, Ashley Bottoms. Oh, thank you.
You having fun today?
I'm having a blast. Now I'm having a blast.
Now it's all kicking off.
You have my card.
Oh, wait, David, where's your card? That's your card.
My card. That's
Bottoms
me.
up.
Appetite for Discussion.
Oh, yeah, very
Ashley
good.
Bottoms, Bottoms Up.
Oh, you're the interview I'm doing?
Yes.
I didn't realise. This is the interview?
This is the interview.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, cheers indeed. And
Bottoms up.
Bottoms Up. I love this guy.